Thanks to the X gene present in their bodies, mutants exhibit a variety of physical characteristics that differentiate them from each other, even being classified by them. Wolverine is part of the beta-level mutants, who are mutants with little physical alteration and who do not have full control over their mutation. In Wolverine's case, he cannot control his healing factor. It is always activated regardless of what he does, which gives away the fact that he is a mutant. In fact, in some stories, he even tries to kill himself, but it's impossible to do so because of what I just mentioned. Taking advantage of talking about his healing factor, I can also mention how Wolverine ages extremely slowly compared to others. The character was born around 1880 in Canada, which means he is about 140 years old and has witnessed most of the major historical events since then. He was present during World War I with the Canadian Army and also in World War II, where he fought alongside Captain America and Bucky. This makes him one of the oldest characters among the mutants, alongside names like Mystique, Mr. Sinister, and Sabretooth. But he's still younger than the characters like Apocalypse, the mutants of Araco, and Selene. Despite being very old, he still has the prospect of living much longer, as he ages slowly, as I mentioned. In many alternate futures, he is one of the heroes who remains alive along with the others like the Thing, Hulk, and Gamma characters in general. After World War II, Logan traveled through China and Japan and ended up being kidnapped to become part of the X-Men project, where they injected adamantium into the skeleton to create the perfect living weapon. This enhanced all his abilities to the maximum, including his already mentioned healing factor and his retractable claws, which became more lethal than ever. But speaking a bit more about his other powers, two that stand out are his super strength and his claws. Wolverine is strong enough to bear the weight of his own now metal-coated body, and still run at high speeds, perform acrobatics, and lift up to about 2 tons. He's not a heavyweight, so he doesn't have feats like lifting buildings or destroying structures with his blows. But he is strong enough to uproot trees and defeat dozens of people with a single arm. He has also been seen jumping about 30 meters without any issues. A remarkable feat of strength and agility, something he excels at as well. He has 3 claws in each arm, which are merged within his forearms and tear through skin and muscle to emerge. While they were still made of bone, they could pierce people, rocks, and even steel. But when he bonded with adamantium, their level was greatly elevated, allowing them to injure beings like the Hulk. But returning to the healing factor, which was also enhanced in the process, he can heal from practically anything almost instantly. This allows him to fight against heavyweights on equal footing, where he may not match them in strength but surpasses them in resilience. He can regenerate limbs like arms and legs, organs, and even regenerate just his skeleton without any problems. He's also nearly immune to toxins. He drank a poison that could kill up to 20 men without even being bothered, though very large doses can still disorientate him. In a fight against vampires, he has also proven that he cannot be transformed, as his healing factor acts faster than the vampiric transformation. However, it's not all roses. His healing factor also depends on his body condition. If he isn't resting or eating, the healing factor weakens progressively. In some alternate futures, the older he gets, the slower his regeneration process becomes. However, a power that doesn't depend on rest or age is his super senses. Wolverine is the perfect predator, especially when it comes to his highly developed sense of smell. He can see great distances with total clarity, see in very low light conditions, fight blindfolded thanks to his super hearing, and recognize and track people by their scent. This makes it very rare for shape-shifting characters to catch him by surprise, as they can change their appearance but not their smell, which gives them away. Wolverine has often been used as a lie detector, able to hear changes in someone's heart rate when they're lying. His reflexes are also extraordinary. Wolverine has demonstrated multiple times that he can dodge point-blank gunfire, though he doesn't need to thanks to his resilience. Speaking of resilience, he's not just tough physically. His mind is also fortified. He has level 9 shields implanted in his brain by Professor Xavier, and combined with the incredible willpower, he's very difficult to control. Contrary to what many think, Wolverine's brain is extremely developed, which isn't apparent due to his personality and appearance. You know what would be even more powerful than the character's brain and powers? Your like and subscription. With just those two, we can become the biggest nerd channel on YouTube and delve deeper into the stories of the characters we love. Logan is one of Marvel's greatest strategists. Even a Chinese emperor once asked him to teach the art of war. Forge, one of the greatest mutant minds, classified his brain as a highly advanced computer and his neuron functions as above those of any human athlete. Logan is also capable of fighting in almost all martial arts styles on Earth, mastering 28 forms of Kung Fu alone, and pressure point attacks. This ability isn't limited to humans. He studied the race of the character Gladiator to apply pressure points to his son, Kid Glad. He can counteract negative effects from chi-based attacks by controlling his thoughts and emotions. He's also an excellent weapons user, especially with swords, employing fencing techniques like Kenjutsu. He's an experienced assassin and, thanks to the work with the CIA and S.H.I.E.L.D., he knows how to pilot all kinds of vehicles and hack computer systems. Due to his long lifespan, he's also capable of speaking multiple languages, demonstrated by his ability to speak Russian, Arabic, English, Chinese, Japanese, Spanish, French, Thai, German, Vietnamese, Lakota, and Portuguese. Additionally, he was an animal empathy, which is rarely remembered, being able to understand emotions of animals around him and communicate with them in a very basic way. But what if I told you that all of this is a weaker version of the character? Because it is. The inflammation of an adamantium in his body prevented his mutation from fully developing, as his healing factor constantly tried to expel the adamantium. When Magneto removed the metal from his bones, nearly killed the hero, his power was pushed to the limit and he awakened the feral Wolverine. This transformation almost completely strips the hero of his sanity, turning him into a true beast. But his physical power reaches another level, with his claws becoming larger, teeth sharper, senses even more heightened, and using his whole body to attack like a true animal. Eventually, Marvel reintroduced the adamantium and removed this form. Even with his mind controlled, Wolverine often loses control, entering a berserk mode. In this form, he attacks anything and anyone he sees, and nearly killed Iron Man if Tony Stark hadn't predicted he would be attacked lethally, having his helmet pierced by the metal claws. Even without feral or berserk form, Wolverine is one of the heroes with the most anti-heroic morality among mutants. That's because he prioritizes protecting humanity and mutants above all else, not hesitating to kill to keep everyone safe. Despite everything I've mentioned here, especially regarding his healing factor, Wolverine has weaknesses to be exploited and can indeed die. Starting with weaknesses, certain objects that nullify regeneration can kill him definitely if they hit him. The Muramasa blade is a good example of this. It's a magical blade made specifically to prevent opponents from regenerating. When he received a small cut from the blade, it took him 5 whole days to heal the wound. Another weakness is water. Since his body is very heavy, he has often stated that he could drown indefinitely if he falls into the sea. And other heroes even had to rescue him when this happens. There are some substances that are poisonous to him, such as certain types of adamantium that causes him a lot of pain and carbonadium. Professor Xavier speculates that he could be killed if his head were separated from his neck, something difficult to achieve thanks to the adamantium. He also feels a lot of pain from sensory overload, such as very loud noises. The Hulk's sonic clap is extremely effective against him, but his healing factor seems to be able to heal him from that as well. But those were all the powers, physical characteristics, and even abilities that Wolverine possesses. Don't forget to leave below which other character you'd like to receive an exclusive video about. Don't forget to like, share, and leave suggestions for more videos so we can grow together with the best nerd channel on YouTube.